host, Jen Bell, as always. Welcome back. So I am very late to the game in reviewing this movie, The Invisible Man, from this year 2020, starring Elizabeth Moss, Oliver Jackson Cohen, Harriet Dreyer, and Aldous Hodge. Sorry if I slaughtered that first name. Really sorry. But this is why I'm so late. I literally saw this over a week ago. Yes, I know. Just craziness, okay? I've been all over the place. I'm sorry that it's been so long. It's been taking me so long to get this up, but we are finally here. We're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and give my thoughts and everything. This actually was not the initial movie that me and my fella were going to go see. We're going to go see, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it is the movie with Forrest Whitaker, whatever movie that is, the one with where he's like the pastor or something, and he takes in like the very racist white Klansman, KKK member. We were gonna see that initially, but there was no showings at either of the AMC's that we are near. So we ended up choosing The Invisible Man because honestly, I was not gonna have my fella go and see and suffer through Fantasy Island or The Boy 2. So this is the best option. So, but I was pretty pleased with it. I did like it. I like the updated take on it and everything. I like the suspense aspect. And here's the thing, too. The Invisible Man, no matter what kind of version you look at, it's been done as a comedy. Memoirs of the Invisible Man with Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah. That was such a kooky little funny adaptation. Been a while since I've seen that one. I should watch that and review it. To like the Hollow Man, where I know it's a little bit more sci-fi and everything, and that's the thing. Like this type of movie, when you do, it's usually going to be a little bit more on like the sci-fi or thriller / suspense spectrum for this. But yeah, like Hollow Man, I know once again, really long time since I've seen that. That was a pretty decent rendition. Of course, we have like the original Invisible Man from like the Universal Monsters universe. And I know that this is one that we've kind of, the story has been told over and over again, whether it's solely called The Invisible Man or something else, and it's a different sort of take on it. But yeah, no, this one was definitely pretty good. Maybe a couple little issues for me, but nothing major. First of all, I feel like this was a little, and what I'm about to say, like, I don't mean it in a bad way or negative way, and I will explain. I feel like this movie was a little overhyped. Like, it's good, but I feel like it's a little overhyped. But I understand that overhypeness because you have to understand that a lot of people who have seen this have previously just watched either the dreaded Black Christmas remake and or the Fantasy Island movie, which I know has been kind of getting some mixed reactions. It seems to be getting a little bit more positive feedback than the Black Christmas remake, but it's still, a lot of people I know were pretty disappointed with that. So, you know, I've been in this place too where I've seen like a few just god-awful movies, and then I come and watch one like The Invisible Man that's actually really good, and it's like because you've just seen some really terrible movies, you get excited, or you get a little pumped, like, oh my god, there's so really good movies out there. So that's what I mean by where it's like a little overhyped, but I understand that, and you know, justly so. Like, go for it, dude. Hey, no worries. The other thing too is Elizabeth Moss in this movie. I love Elizabeth Moss. No matter what I see her in, and I remember like the first thing I saw her in way back about 21 years ago or 20 years ago in Girl Interrupted. She was I forget her name in that movie, but she was like the burned girl and everything. That was her. Like, that was like the first thing I remember seeing her in. Fell in love with her back then. Still have not watched The Handmaid's Tale, but I know she's been in a slew of things in between those two projects. But yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, she was just in Us from last year. So yeah, I mean, I love her, but there are certain points in this movie where I felt just she wasn't quite up to her game. Like some of her, like even her, some of her facial expressions, I'm like what is wrong with you? Like you're annoying me. But it wasn't so bad where it ruined me. Like I said, I think it was just a little bit awkward acting at times. Because like I said, I think she is a terrific actress. Even in this, even with my gripes, I think she did a really really good job. So I'm not bashing her. I'm really not bashing her. Um, but and I like that she, I do like that her character kind of like stood her ground and kept kind of like trying to fight back and trying to prove to everyone like, no, like, dude, my supposedly dead husband, he's still alive. Like he is right there. I know he's right there. And I like that they didn't follow the, well, to an extent, I feel like they did kind of follow the like, okay, crazy girl, like you're going crazy, but it wasn't so cartoonish or anything. It wasn't the protocol, the stereotypical way of, oh my god, they're going crazy, let's just go ahead and lock them up. Boom, right then and there. It kind of was like, okay, wait, what's going on? What's going on? Like, she had these set of friends and her sister and everything, and even like the sister, sometimes you knew that they had issues. There was turmoil between them, but even the sister was kind of like, okay, what is going on at certain points? And unfortunate things happen that literally the invisible husband is literally trying to set her up to make her look crazy because he supposedly does all this, kills himself, sets her up with this like 4-year plan of getting like $1 million or something, or 4 million, or whatever the amount of money was over a few years or whatever. But of course there's certain things that will kind of null all this and void all this if certain things happen. For example, if she gets like arrested or she commits a crime or something, it's gonna go all away and everything. So he kind of really makes sure to quit her life, do things so that way, even though she technically didn't do them, it looks like she did it so that way she doesn't end up getting any of her money. Like this guy's abusive and controlling. I'm just saying. But speaking of that, so towards the end, or at the end, I have a little bit of a theory. I don't want to spoil like what happens, so I won't indulge in exactly what happens. But I feel like at the end, and I don't know if this is just me, this is just a theory, like I said, but I felt like, especially that last shot of Elizabeth Moss's face, I kind of started thinking, I'm like, if, what if she was the one who was abusive? Because, her hubby was the one who had all the money, and she even said, too, at one point of, like, why me? Why me? You could have had anyone in the world, why me? Blah, blah, blah. And that's the thing, we don't have any sort of actual confirmation of, the story before all this. Because the movie opens up to Elizabeth Moss. We can clearly tell she kind of had plotted something, planned something to leave her husband. So, kind of automatically, we are assuming she is the one who's being abused. It's been, kind of like run into our minds of she was being abused, her husband was very controlling, this and that, or whatever. But like we technically never saw any of that. So it's like it makes you think like, what if? So if they do a sequel like this to this, I wouldn't mind seeing kind of maybe a little bit of a 180, a little bit of a like, hey, what? A little bit more of a backstory, be like, and I think they could do that. I think they could do a sequel to this if they choose, and maybe do something a little crazy, be like, and not give us necessarily the stereotypical protocol of a sequel. Just saying, I don't know, I'm just saying, and plus too, honestly, and also, I was thinking about this, it kind of makes sense to me, because, when she's escaping, there's that dog, and she's like, alright, come on, let's go. And then, like, the dog kind of, like, pops in and out of the movie. The dog's never really with her, so, like, when she goes to her friend's house, after her sister picks her up, the dog's not there. So, I'm like, where's the fucking dog with the husband? But then the husband kills himself, and now, like, the dog is still at, like, the former house. I'm like, who the fuck's taking care of this dog? Because you didn't take the damn dog, that means you're not a really good person. I'm just saying, Elizabeth Moss. I'm just saying. Or her character, at least. So, but yeah, what I'm saying, who wouldn't take the damn dog? Unless if you're not a dog person and you're an abuser. Just see. I don't know. Well, like I said, that's just my little, like, sort of theory. I don't know if anyone else kind of feels like that. Let me know, though, too, if any of you guys have had any sort of, like, thoughts, whether it's kind of, like, similar to mine or you have your own little theories about this movie. I would love to hear them. But till next time, as always, you guys, thanks for listening to my review of The Invisible Man. Sorry it was so late. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.